And then so after that, we went into the summer. We had a few more visits, her coming to Maryland and then me coming to Minnesota as well too. We had a lot of good times together. I really cherish these times before we got blessed, because I feel like even though we had a lot of fun, we did a lot of things, went a lot of places, but I also feel like we had a lot of deep, strong conversations about what we want our future to look like and how we can do that centering on God and having God guide us. Yeah.
Should I talk to you on it?
You got it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess, and then, so our process was about maybe, I think, 9 or 10 months. And then come September, we're like, okay, let's make a decision. And so we did a 1-month-long condition of cold showers.
4 minutes, 4-minute cold shower.
Yeah, cold shower for at least 4 minutes. And then prayer, 4-minute prayer every day also. And we would call each other,
We would read.
Oh, we would read from a book called Real Love by
Greg Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Dr. Greg Bear. And then we would call maybe once a week to talk about what we've gained from the book and what we've learned, just to help set us up for I guess to have an even stronger foundation, and then ultimately leading to our decision of, do we want to move forward with this and go to the blessing, or is it not working out? But I mean, yeah, we worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that's our commitment ceremony as well. It was all of our friends came together. It was really beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of just to give you the preface of how our process went. We didn't go so deep, but now we want to really share with you the core of our testimony, which is what we realized during our process, how we grew closer to God, and how we really understood the purpose of the blessing. So I think Winona will go first.
Okay, so I think there's 2 or 3 points I want to share, but I think the first thing is kind of throughout our process, or at least earlier on, I was actually, I don't know, I think I was afraid of I guess my ability to commit. I feel like growing up, even with hobbies or activities, I think it was always really difficult for me to commit to something fully. And so I think I was wow, I'm just really not good at sticking to something. I'm what if either I get bored, or I don't know, I feel I'm not good at it, and so I feel I'm so bad at it, and I don't know, I think part of that kind of played into even my thought on my relationships, and I'm worried I can't fully give, or I'm worried that I won't be able to really give someone all the love and the treatment and appreciation that they deserve and everything. But I think, anyway, so at one point, there was a workshop in the Bay Area in San Francisco, California that I went to. It was only a weekend workshop, and it was actually a high noon workshop, if you know the high noon program. But yeah, I went into the workshop really seeking for kind of God, what do I do about this issue with commitment that I have? I don't know, because I was how do I deal with this, or how do I get over this? And so I was praying and praying during the workshop. And ultimately, my realization that I came to, and so, and I guess we were talking here and there too during this time, just texting each other. But yeah, I think what I realized was, I really love God, right? God has really changed my life. Heavenly Parent has really changed my life. And I think I am such a different person after really experiencing Heavenly Parent and His love, and understanding my value as God's child. And so, yeah, basically the realization I came to was even though I'm scared of committing to a hobby or an activity or people, I have no doubt in my heart that I can commit to God, and I will continue committing to God for like, forever, because like I know all the love and truth that, like that this movement and that Heavenly Parent and true parents have given me. And I know like my heart has been forever changed. And so like, if I can commit to God, I can commit to anything. I was like, it's really, I don't know, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because also, I mean, I'm God's child, he's God's child. And so I'm like, well, like, I don't know, there's no question about it. If I can commit to God, then I know, like, I can really commit to him, because also we're gonna be putting, right, God at the center of our blessing. Yeah, now it's kind of like, I think a big turning point, at least for me, within our process. Yeah. And then I think another point that I still continue to practice to this day is I really always want to make the effort to like see him as God's child, like God's son, before seeing him as my husband. And I think true parents talked about that too, like especially in Cheonseongyung, I believe. Like true parents say, right, like you should always see your spouse as like, this is God's son, this is God's daughter, before, right, they are my husband or wife. And so, yeah, I feel like it's always like a constant reminder to me too, like even like when we pray together, I'm always praying, I'm like, God, like, thank you so much for your beautiful son, my beautiful husband. And I don't know, just like really making sure to always see him first as very like this child of God. Because I think, I don't know, I guess like in a lot of like, maybe like relationships nowadays, I feel like with the mindset like, oh, this is my wife, this is my husband, I think it can get really easy to kind of see it as like, oh, well, like, kind of like, I guess in a more self-centered way, like, oh, they're my husband, so like, why aren't they doing this, that, or like, they're my wife, like, why is it, I don't know, or like, I want her to treat me like this, and that. But I think ultimately, something that, yeah, I've practiced and want to continue practicing is to really, right, have patience and have grace, because, I mean, yeah, I really want to just always treat him as God's, like, special, precious child that I'm so lucky to be with. But yeah, so I think that's another thing I've, like, really learned and gained during our process, and after us being blessed too, especially after us being blessed, I mean, yeah, just to really have this mindset of, like, I want to treat you as, like, a great, beautiful treasure that God has given me before, like, oh, you're, like, mine. Yeah. But, yeah, and I think also just general things that I feel like I've really been able to grow in through our process and our time together is, really growing. I mentioned it a little bit, but really growing my patience, really growing my ability to give grace, really even learning to open up and be vulnerable. Like true parents, they say that your spouse is your second Messiah. I think for a while I was like, what does that really mean though? Like, I don't know if I really understand it. But yeah, I think I understand now, right? Like when true parents say like our spouse is our second Messiah, it's like, yeah, like this person is really here to help me learn and grow through so much, and to help teach me things even when I'm stubborn, or like even when I might not want to listen. But right, like they will always, like, I don't know, like I really have to also open my heart and keep myself humble, and to really treat you, yeah, with the utmost like respect and care. And so, I mean, yeah, I think also when true parents say like, oh, your spouse is your second Messiah, like I really have a better understanding of what they mean by that, and like what that looks like in practice for me too. But yeah, I think these are some things that I've really been able to gain from our time together. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing on that. I appreciate it. So now I'm going to go into my takeaways. So the three main points I want to talk about for our blessing is how the blessing taught me to see from God's perspective more, one specific experience we had together, and then the true purpose of the blessing. And yeah, what Winona really taught me about love. But first, I want to just give a preface, and I need you all to understand a little bit about myself first before I feel like you can really understand this. So growing up in this movement, I always wanted to get blessed, although I never had such a great example for the blessing. My parents, they were very strong and faithful people, but their marriage didn't really reflect that. I'm sure many people can relate. So when they adopted me, they were about 55, pretty old when they did, and they were on their second blessing when they adopted me. My mom's first blessing, her husband was gay and he got AIDS and died after a year. And then my dad's second blessing, he was there for, my dad's first blessing, he was there for a few years, and then she left him. And so, as you can imagine, their marriage or their blessing didn't really have the greatest foundation. So growing up, even though they were great parents to me, I didn't really feel loved. I didn't feel like the blessing was something that I really desired or I wanted. And I was like, why am I in this movement? What is the point of this? Like, I would read Principle with them, but it really wasn't hitting my brain. I didn't understand. But I think what gave me hope towards the blessing was seeing older second generation in my community. I'm from Maryland, so there's a lot of strong older second generation families, and just seeing them with their kids growing up, they were like my youth ministry staff. They gave me a lot of hope that I could build something like that. And actually, the dream that True Parents and all of my parents' generation fought for is really something that can be substantial. It doesn't just have to be an idea we talk about on Sundays, but it could be something that we can truly experience. And so even though seeing the older second generation and their families, it doesn't erase the pain from my childhood, but it gave me confidence that I know my marriage can be better than that. And I'm happy to say that even though we just got married, I already feel like it's better. Honestly, and my father told me that too. So it's not like, yeah, like when my father sees us interact, it's different. He's like, man, I wish I had these conversations with your mother. Like we're talking and then we just get so open and honest. And my parents, they never talked like that. They never went into how they were feeling or what do you need me to do for you or this and that. They wouldn't cry together. They wouldn't pray together. And so already I feel so much love from her and her family as well too. But anyway, I want to talk a bit about seeing from God's perspective, because I feel like without that, our process would have failed a long time ago. If we were simply just looking out for what we wanted, which is the standard for relationships in our worldly life, that's all you see, right? It's just, what can I get from this relationship? You're not thinking about what can you give to this person? What is the larger scale, right? So during our process, we were very lucky. We had great matching supporters. She had Pastor Shizuka. Not sure if she was here a little bit ago. And then I had my former youth pastor, Melissa Manor. They were both really great in drilling in this idea that you must look from God's perspective. But what does that mean, though? You might not understand what I say when I say look from God's perspective, right? And, oh, there she is. Hi. We love Shizuka. She's definitely responsible for our process working out. I don't think it would have with anyone else, so thank you. But yeah, seeing from God's perspective is truly seeing them as God's child. But to go a step further, what does even that mean, seeing them as God's child? It means seeing what they've been through, understanding that when we're going through struggles, being patient with them, being empathetic with them, seeing them for who they are, right? We don't, like, when you're in, like, when I'm in college, like, people are not seeing me from God's perspective, it's just like, it's just surface level connections, even the deeper ones. It's not like God, they're not seeing me as God's child. They're just seeing me as like young men, which is like, anyway, we're trying to get to a world where we all see each other as God's child, but we're not there yet. But even though we're not there yet, we still need to have that in all of our marriages, though. That's True Parents' dream. And so even looking from God's perspective helped me understand her family more, going into the Hmong culture and really studying the language, getting to know her siblings. I love them so much. I love my Z and Nia. I love them a lot. And at first, I think when meeting them, it was kind of hard to understand their family in some ways. But I think over time, after praying on it and understanding what they've been through and who the type of people that they are, I've grown to really respect them so much. And I feel like that's not so common in just a normal relationship, to have this type of filial piety towards your in-laws' parents. Anyway, then now I want to talk about a specific experience where I feel like I was really, when this happened, I felt like we were really ready for the blessing. So we were in D.C., and then in D.C., you know, there's a national zoo. So we were walking around for a bit, saw some giant pandas. It was great. And then we were about to go to a carp event. I myself, I'm an extrovert. I love being around people. I love being in the community, you know. And then I wanted to introduce her to everybody, and I wanted to bring her to the carp house. But she was having cramps, and she wasn't feeling good. She was crying. It was bad. And then it was really bad. And then I thought about it in this moment, and I'm like, you know, anyway, there's something that my youth pastor told me. He said, the moment you aren't looking from God's perspective is the moment that you've lost. My brother King, he's told me that. And really, he's so right, because when you stop looking from God's perspective, you get wrapped up in yourself. You feel like only what you care about matters, and you feel selfish. But in that moment, I chose not to be selfish, and I said, you know, we sat for 20 minutes, and she was crying. I was holding her hand, you know. I was like, no, it's gonna be okay. We don't have to go. And she was like, really? But you want to see everybody? I'm gonna ruin everything. No, you're not ruining everything, because I care about you. I love you. And even during that time, you know, I wanted to show you who I was and how I was gonna treat you as your husband, how I was gonna treat God's daughter, you know. Everybody should be treated like that, not just in our movement or in a religious context, but every relationship should really be like that. You know, putting your partner's needs above your own needs. Imagine if I was just get mad at her and say, no, I want to go to the event. Why are you being difficult? You know, that's a very common response, right? When we're only thinking about what we want. But in the blessing, you need to think about what your partner wants. You need to think about what God wants for your couple. And so I reassured her, and we had brownies and ice cream at home. And it was good, and she was smiling. And it's like, you know, this is how we should all treat each other, right? So yeah, looking from God's perspective, really that I think really carried our process. And then finally, I want to talk about why I feel like the blessing is so important today. So as I look back on my process, I realized that, like I said, without God, we wouldn't have been able to get through the challenges that held us back. So I believe that turning to prayer and remembering the larger goal of the blessing, even when we were mad at each other, or we're not feeling good, or we're feeling like something's wrong, or the other person betrayed us, or whatever. You know, we went through a lot of things together, and a lot of tearful times and hard times, but I feel like that made us so much stronger, because we would always pray together. Even on the honeymoon, you know, even the honeymoon, like we were in Asia for a month, and then still like crazy things came up. But every time we would turn back to God, or we would take a rest, and then we would come back and we would pray together. And I think that's what really, I think some of the stuff we went through, like most couples would have broken off after that, I guarantee you. But God is like the glue that brings us together. I guarantee you, I can say that without a doubt. I believe that turning to prayer and remembering the larger picture is what kept us stable in times of fear, doubt, and anger toward each other. Because we're all human. We all have that fallen nature within us. We all have that part of us that doesn't, think about the other person, right? I think that what really helped me understand the purpose of the blessing is when I went back to college after GPA, and I saw my friends' relationships, and I realized how sad they were. Whenever their partner was of boredom to them, they would just leave to find someone more pretty or more exciting. And, there were many accounts of my friends, like their partners cheating on them or betrayal, so much like toxicity, and I just saw so much pain within my own friend group in college, and it really, I would be so sad some nights that my friends would go through so much pain, and sometimes they were the ones doing the pain. It was bad. And then I realized that what True Parents fought for, what our movement has fought for, despite all the struggles and wrinkles within our movement, is something worth fighting for, despite all the problems, which there are many, but I still think it's worth it. It showed me, just seeing those relationships, it showed me what I didn't want. It showed me those surface level relationships where I can't really go deep with my partner and understand her on a spiritual level, because we're going to be together for eternity. So we need to, build a strong foundation. We can't be doing that. We can't be doing what they're doing. Our generation, like I guess Gen Z or Gen Alpha, if you'd like to say, we've coined a phrase that I kind of have a problem with, and it says, if your relationship isn't serving you, leave. And while this may have good intentions, in my opinion, I feel like it goes against the purpose of a true relationship, because the blessing has taught me that in your relationship, your purpose is to serve your partner. You know, God is trying to give you all of the love to give it to her. But when you say, you know, if your relationship isn't serving you, leave, even though it sounds good on paper, it sounds good in an Instagram post, but really, when we look at that, it's not what we're aiming for. We're supposed to serve our partner unconditionally, right? You know, you as a partner are a vessel for love all the time. What I really feel like the blessing is so important is because right now the truth is our generation, men and women couldn't be farther apart. Like people my age, you know, on our algorithms, we're constantly given a different version of what the world is. Men are being told to look up to like Andrew Tate or something. Women are looking at like Love Island, you know. It's very surface level. It's very not what we want, not something that's creating long-term relationships. You know, what I'm saying is, and it has been for a long time, role models for young adults, they're not good. They're not great examples on how to live a strong life. And so, anyway, it makes me feel that the blessing is not simply for religious people or for very, you know, Moonies or whoever. It's just for anyone. My mom, she's a very faithful woman. She would go to churches and she would just sprinkle holy water, say, boom, you're blessed, you're blessed. And then, you know, I think she blessed like 400 couples. You know, she's a chumbo couple. But the blessing is really what taught me that true parents dream. It has value. And there's a reason why our parents sacrificed so many years on MFC or witnessing or whatever they needed to do, or even staying in a loveless marriage just for my own sake, even though they hated each other. But they stayed together for me so that I could meet her and we can make this beautiful family together. And that was really God's plan. Because even though I had so much resentment from my parents, I was like, how could you do this? How could you raise me like this? You know, they never said I love you to each other once. They would always argue. And for so long, I had so much resentment. But now I feel like I have an appreciation for them, because even though they hated each other with everything, God bless my mom, you know, she's gone now. But, you know, even till she died, you know, they really didn't like each other. And that's an unfortunate reality for many of my friends and their parents. But they knew that them staying together is what would allow me to have the foundation, to have hope for the blessing, which allowed me to go to GPA, which allowed me to meet her. And everything was really God's plan. And now that I look back on the past, I see just how God was working in our lives to bring us together. And so I want to end with this, you know. The reason that our blessing will be successful, and I know it will be, is not because we are perfect church members. It is not because we are perfect Moonies. We are not perfect Christians. We are not perfect people. It is because I am confident, actually no, I'm certain, that our ability to center our relationship on God will happen every time, no matter the struggle and no matter the pain. I've seen evidence of that in our process, in my everyday living with you, and you know, during our honeymoon. And I'm confident that with the support of the community, the support of God, you know, our eternity will really be so beautiful. And so, yeah, the reason that your blessing will work or not is not because you two are perfect. It's because you have faith in the concept of the blessing. You have faith in God. You have faith that this will work. But you can only do that if you're open to God's heart. Anyway, if anyone wants to ask us any questions after service, we're an open book, or I'm open. She is too. Anyway, I think that's about it. Yeah, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we wanted to actually sing an offering song to you guys. So anyway, thank you for your attention during the sermon. And now, yeah, we just wanted to offer this song that we really love called Touch of Heaven. And I love singing with my wife, Winona. She's great at singing. I like singing too, so we're just gonna do it together.
Yeah. He's also a really great singer. I'm excited for everyone to hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we good. Okay.
How I live for the moments when I'm still in your presence. All the noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I will linger and listen. I can't miss a thing. Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper, Lord. I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. You're the fire in the morning, you're the cool in the evening, the breath in my soul, oh, the life in my bones. There is no hesitation in your love and affection. It's the sweetest of all. Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper, Lord. I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. Whoa, Open my heart to you. Open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. Father, have your way in me now. I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can.
my goodness. Wasn't that beautiful, brothers and sisters? Did anyone else feel touched by their testimony? It was so beautiful. Yes, thank you so much. I feel moved. I feel like it's just a mic drop. I don't have to say anything more, right? They said so much and really shared their hearts with us. So thank you so much. And if you feel called, if your heart feels moved, please give a donation, give your tithe. There's a box in the back. Maybe in a moment the QR code will show up, but yes, if you feel moved, please share with us your offering as well. And we'll head into our weekly announcements. So our Minnesota Family Church annual potluck picnic is coming up soon. Please save the date. It is August 2nd at 11 a.m. It will be at Snail Lake Regional Park Pavilion. Please bring a dish to share, and yes, most importantly, put it on your calendar, save the date, and please join us. The Chunbo workshop registration is now open. You can find the link by scanning the QR code. Oh yeah, right here. Or in the newsletter. You can find more information in the registration page, including any forms that are needed. And just a reminder, next week is potluck. It's the first Sunday of July, a new month. So please bring a dish and join us in celebrating also our July birthdays. And lastly, after service today, there is a Codon lunch sale. They'll be having California rolls. The proceeds go towards supporting our Codon activities and our greater church movement. With that, I'd like to welcome up our pastor for the benediction.
Please rise, everyone. Again, so blessed to have the testimony that you shared today. I'm sure that Heavenly Parent touched the lives of all of us here in some way or another. So let us ask God's grace. Dear Heavenly Parent, it is a beautiful day in our hearts to welcome you here and to receive such a beautiful testimony from Youngman and Winona. We know that our testimonies give evidence of your existence and your love and your care in all of our lives. We edify you because you are the Heavenly Parent. You are the creator, sustainer of all life of the universe. And you've given us this glorious opportunity to be alive in this time, in this age. And I pray that each one of us can be able to resonate with your heart of knowing who we are as your precious son and daughter, and how we have such august value, and everyone around us has the same and unique value as well. So as we go forth in this week that we are being blessed to have before us, let us go knowing who we are, whom we are, whose we are, and let your light and your love reign through us in all that we do. May your blessing extend to everyone here, and may our blessings come back to you in plentiful ways. We thank you and we honor you, and we ask your blessing upon everyone here in this gathering, and let us go forth to continue our fellowship together with one another. I pray all this in gratitude and attendance to Holy Mother Han. Aju. Aju. All right, everyone.
Yeah, that was a very powerful testimony. So let's give another round of applause for Winona. I was tearing up during Touch of Heaven too, and I was on the piano, I wasn't singing, but just those words of what we desperately want, and the importance of just having God as our center, as our spotlight, and how through Him we can do amazing things. So our closing song is My Lighthouse, so feel free to stay and sing, yeah?
peace in my troubled sea. Oh, oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Right before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore.
Thank you so much, worship team. Thank you again to Winona and Youngman for your message today, your testimony. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for being here. Please join us in the social hall for food and fellowship. Have a great week, and God bless.
Aren't you just excited to get marriage blessing now, Samuel? Aren't you excited to get the marriage blessing now? Okay, good. I think so. I think so. Absolutely. Isn't that cool? That's what heaven is. Put others first. Before yourself.